Well, hello everybody, welcome back to our playthrough. We are on episode 49, and in today's episode we are cracking on with the upgrades that we were working on from our previous episode. We've started smelting down all of our iron into bars, and we have plenty of them, so yeah, today's pretty much going to be another upgrade episode. But I am also planning to go out into the meadows and grab some more of the deer hide, probably some more raspberries as well. It's just some of the stuff that we're going to need from the meadows. We're just going to do a bit of a farm session. Believe it is still nighttime. Can't remember if we actually went to bed before the end of our last episode or if it has just hit nighttime, but we'll find out shortly. Probably just go to bed and try and sleep if we can. Now, you might notice that I'm not wearing any armor. I did take off the bronze and the troll leather hide armor that we were wearing from our last episode because we are getting very close to building our next armor set, which is the iron armor. So we will, we should be okay to go out and farm the forest without needing any armor on. We can pretty much use the fact that we've got no movement speed reduction to sprint away from anything dangerous, although I'm not really expecting anything dangerous from the meadows to come and attack us, so we should be okay. At least until we get that next armor set crafted. But obviously the first thing we want to do is fill up our smelters and our charcoal kilns. So it was nighttime, so we are going to sleep through the night. Not sure how much of the nighttime we're going to skip, especially considering we've just logged in, so we might not get a full round of smelting and charcoal kilns done, but we'll probably get most of it. Let's go and have a quick look. Oh no, we got the smelters done, that's pretty good. So it must have just hit nighttime when we logged in. Okay, just top these boys up, get them going again. Pretty sure we've got enough coal left now, so after that recent 50 wood that we just turned into charcoal, we're going to put up another smelter, or should we put two smelters up? Yeah, we'll put a fourth one up, might as well, just so we can speed through these last bits of iron that we've got. I'm also pretty sure we've definitely got enough coal to finish off these last bits. Yeah, we've got plenty. We've got 211 there, and we've only got about 60 bits of coal left. Iron. We've already got coal in the first two smelters. Yeah, we've got more than enough. Just trying to do a quick bit of maths to work it out. That's usually what I do when it comes to these smelters. Now, before we go out, we are going to want some food. Health bonus isn't going to be massive. Probably pop a carrot as well. One thing I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but one thing you might have noticed with the turnips is they are pretty much one of the only foods or food items in the game that you can't eat directly. Now, with the turnip, you have to use them in the cooking recipes from the cooking pot in order to make anything with them. Unlike things like the carrots and the raspberries and the blueberries where you can just eat them and get a 10-15 minute buff from them. With the turnips, you have to craft them into something. You can't just eat them as standard, which kind of makes sense in a bit, because I'm not sure if anyone has ever actually eaten a raw turnip, but they are not nice in the slightest. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense in a bit. But that, I believe one of the next level of foods you can get is something that you can eat as well. So turnip really is one of the only foods, the only fruit and veg that you can grow and find out in the wild that you can't eat naturally. I was kind of hoping that with it being a vegetable, it might actually give us a bit more stamina, but I suppose there isn't really a gap that needs to be filled when it comes to stamina buffs. I'm pretty sure that with turnips, the next level of stamina and health food we can get is 45 and 50. But we'll have a closer look at those when we start making them. And we've got using our new huntsman bow. It's a lot quicker to charge up, or it's a bit quicker to charge up, and it also flies very straight as the arrow. You notice we barely even aimed above that first deer, and it took him out straight away. I think the arrow flies a bit faster as well. But that is the main reason why we're out and about on today's episode, is that we need more deer hide. I believe we need it for our armor. Which logically makes a lot of sense, because wearing a full set of iron armor without any kind of padding or clothing underneath would be extremely uncomfortable and very pinchy as well. So yeah, it kind of makes sense you need some leather with it so that you've got some padding underneath. We're also going to top up the raspberries whilst we're here as well, just to make sure that we've got some more. We did lose a whole bunch of boar in our previous episode, or it might have been the episode before that, thanks to a grey dwarf shaman who walked up and used his poison spray and pretty much took out majority of the ones we had. He killed both of our named boars, Barry and Bessie, which I was not happy about in the slightest. But I believe we were left with 3 boar, so I want to gather some more of the raspberries so that we can breed some more boar, or let them naturally breed some more, just to kind of replenish our boar amounts. But fortunately enough, we didn't lose the leather scraps or the meat from them. I just wasn't planning on culling them off just yet, so I was a bit disappointed. It's yet another reason why we need to build a wall around our base if we've now got grey dwarf shamans coming up, because they are probably one of the most dangerous creatures that can come up randomly and attack us, that would kill our tame animals. You can also see here that I'm holding an iron mace, which is the first weapon that we crafted. Again, in our previous episode, I was talking about making an iron sword, but I think I was having a bit of a lapse in memory from the recording of that episode. I think I actually decided on going for the iron mace over the sword because of the boss fight that we're going to be coming up with very soon. That is the bone mass boss, which is the swamp biome boss. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember because I've only fought him a few times in total throughout my my time of playing Valheim. But I'm pretty sure he's weak to blunt damage. But I could be wrong about that, so yeah. I think pretty much any weapon would work against him. I wouldn't mind having a sword as well. As I've said, with the bronze era stuff that we made, I did make a sword because I wanted to level up the skill, so that when we do actually get to using a sword that we want, we will have a decent enough sword skill level. But the mace is pretty much it's pretty good as well. Like it's a decent amount of damage, and it's definitely an upgrade from the bronze mace, so it's not a bad thing. Alright, we're not having much luck on our deer hunt so far. We've taken down a few of them, but we could do with a few more. I was kind of hoping to get at least 10 of them. Sorry, I wanted to kill at least 10 deer, so that'd probably give us anywhere between 10, 15... Oh, there's one, just off in the distance. But I want to get as much deer hide as possible. Deer hide is something we are going to need plenty of going forward. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, I just want to make sure I get enough, as much as I can, because I don't want to be out here for too much time. And when Mr. Grey Dwarf, he had no idea I was there. How strange. I'm only wearing the cape from the Trollhide armor set, and that doesn't make me sneaky on its own. And the reason I've left the cape on is because I don't have a replacement cape for it. Kind of want my character to keep a little bit of his, what's the word? Decency? No, that wouldn't be the word. Bit of privacy for him, so he's not running around with just a pair of pants on. Or underwear, sorry. If you're American, you wouldn't call them pants, would you? You'd call them something else. Underwear? Boxers? What do you guys call the pants that you wear underneath your trousers? Underwear. I think that's what they're called. Anyway. Ooh, a 1-star deer. Let's take you down, shall we? Oh, lovely. I do like the huntsman bow. It is very, very good. It's just like the arrow flies so quickly. You don't have to aim up. If you remember back to when we were using the crude bow, which is the basic one you first start the game with, or the one that you can make at the start of the game, we had to give a lot of extra height on top of our aim when shooting things at a distance, whereas with this one you don't have to give it that much at all, and it does improve with higher bows as well, so this is one of the ones where you'll notice it more. With the fine wood bow, you can upgrade it, which makes it use a bit less stamina when you're charging up and does a bit more damage, but it doesn't really affect the arrow itself in terms of the speed at which it flies or how straight it flies as well. So, and the fine wood, don't get me wrong, the fine wood is better than the standard crude bow, but the huntsman just seems to be so much of an increase compared to the fine wood that it's very noticeable, at least for me anyway. And this is someone who barely uses their bow, so I'd imagine someone who's using a bow quite a lot. If you're sticking to a ranged playthrough, you might notice a huge difference between the two. We have also got some iron head arrows, which we need to make sure we take with us when going out on future sailing trips, just in case we do run into any of the sea serpents. We want the highest level of bow and arrow to fight them. Finding a few more deer now, so we're doing quite well. I think we have ventured pretty far away from home base, so we are going to start seeing a few more of these animals. They have been given quite a bit of time to actually to increase the amount of animals that are around the area, but sometimes we passively kill them as we're wandering around, and sometimes enemies like skeletons and stuff. Skeletons are quite hostile against pretty much all forest creatures. So if they manage to run up on the back of a deer without the deer noticing, they can kill them with the sneak attack. Oh, there is another deer nearby. You can kind of hear them hooting in the background. They make a weird noise to the deer. I'm not sure if that's what noise a deer actually makes. But yeah, and as you can see, our run speed is actually quicker than that of the deer. Although the deer is kind of winding back and forth. Got him. What a shot. But our run speed itself, even with the bow out, is still enough to catch up to them. So that is that's kind of a showcase of how good the leveling up your run skill is in terms of the bonus to movement speed. It does make it a lot easier for you to catch up with deer as they run away. I'm pretty sure deer are one of the only creatures that runs away when you're wanting to kill them, when you're wanting to chase them down, if you get close enough to them. There's a few other creatures very late into the game that do a similar thing. But for most of it, it's just the deer that run away. Everything else just seems to want to kill you. Oh wow, this is a lot of raspberries. Look at that. 5 so far, and there's a few bushes over here. Oh, there's a greyling behind us. Are we going to bother killing him, or are we just going to ignore him? Probably just ignore him. Oh, one more. There we go. Go away. Turned him into a cloud of yellow mist. Oh, whoops. I thought I pulled the bow out there. Now I can't see the deer. Alright, we're going to have to sneak to try and find him. Don't want to get close enough where he runs away. Pretty sure it was a 1-star as well, so we should get extra hide and meat for this. Where are you? I know you were up here somewhere. There you are. Got him. Perfect. Give me all that hide. There we go. Right. we'll probably find a few more and then start heading back. We've still got a bit of daytime left to go, so we've got enough time to hunt down a few more at least. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, a 2-star deer. Look at that. He's going to drop a lot of hide. That's perfect. There we go. Railing, go away. And there's a standard deer. Let's take you down. There we go. For anyone who was wondering, our run skill has just leveled up to 40. So I'm pretty sure we're probably getting about a 20% increase to movement speed. Whilst sprinting, of course. That's what's allowing us to catch up to the deer as they run away. It will get to a point where we don't even need to use a bow. We can just sprint right up to them and take them out pretty quickly. Especially if they don't notice as we approach. Then we can take a swing without having to worry about them running out of the range. Okay, whereabouts are we? We're actually not too far away from home. Probably start heading back in that direction, see if we can find any more on the way back. I think we've got a decent amount. We've killed, I don't know, anywhere between 5 to 10 deer. We had a couple of 1-stars, we had a 2-star, so we should be quite good. Oh, hello, there's one. We should be quite good on deer hide. Oh, there's one behind it as well, I think. Yep, there he is. And I think there's even one to the right there, just to the right of the stone. Yep, there you are, right against the water's edge. Boom, look at that, 3 shots, 3 dead. Oh, I do like this bow. There is another bow a bit later on into the game, which I really, really like. It's my favourite one, and I'm really not looking forward to upgrading past that. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to showcasing that one. Can't actually see where the third one is. I'm sure we must have picked it up and not noticed. With a raspberry. Here's one of the first abandoned churches we found. I think we were back when we were desperately looking for bees and couldn't find any. Now look at us, we've got plenty of them, mass-producing honey for us. And there's our base spawning in the distance. Right, there you go. Have some of raspberries. We had quite a lot of them, so we might as well just dump what we had. Don't have the carrier weight to pick up all the iron, so let's just go and dump what we've got so far. It's about 114 iron bars in that chest. Pretty good. We had another 50 raspberries on us. Another 40 odd deer meat. Wow. And then about 30 odd deer hide as well, which is really nice. That's a really good amount of deer hide for us to get. Well, I don't think it'll last us all the way till till the end of the game, but that should last us a very decent amount of time. There's definitely a few things we're going to need it for, but I don't think we're going to need it in high quantities. It's not like when we first started the game and we're making the standard leather armor and all of the the table upgrades and the new like weapons and stuff like that. We don't need tons of it, but we will need a fair amount going forward. Okay, so we've got about 50 odd iron left to do, so let's chuck 40 of them in here. Or into the smelters. Get these boys topped up and going again. Okay, that's those 4 done. Dump the coal back in the cart, and let's go and have a look at potentially doing some more upgrades. Got plenty of iron now, so... And I think we've pretty much got most, if not all, of our table upgrades for iron. Alright, so there we go. Just going to pick up 3 stacks of iron. Iron scale mail is the first one, iron greaves for the legs, and iron helmets. There we go, that's all 3, but you can see the armor difference there is 14 as the standard set, which is quite massive. Now unfortunately we're not wearing the bronze armor set, so we can't see the exact jump in armor level that we get, but look at that, full iron armor. It looks pretty cool as well. I think it's one of the better looking armor sets. My favourite armor set comes from the plains currently, but we haven't seen any of the Ashlands ones, so we'll have to check those out. Now, if you can see there, I'm hovering over the battle axe. That's one of our first 2-handed weapons. So you can't use a shield when wielding that one. You have to wield it with 2 hands, but it does do an absolute truckload of damage, but it does take a lot of stamina to swing. That's our iron tower shield, which is the 3rd type of shield we can make with iron. There's an iron sword, which we'll probably look at making. But I think for now we are just going to focus on upgrading our items. There we go, our iron mace is now level 3, getting that ready for the boss. And then we'll look at doing scale mail. And the greaves. It's actually not that bad of an iron upgrade. Sorry, the cost of it for upgrading. 5 to start with, then 10 for the 2nd level. And just need a few more for the helmet, and then that's all of our armor up to level 3. Put all this back on, see what runs. That's 21 with the legs, 39 with the chest, and 55. That is a pretty significant jump from the bronze armor. That is definitely going to help going forward into the swamp and taking on the boss. Because we are getting close to that stage. We'll still have nearly 30 leather as well, so that's pretty good. Although the upgrade levels for the iron armor didn't cost any leather, it was just the initial crafting of the iron armor that we needed to do. Right, let's take a quick nap, sleep through the night. Right. We fall into the deep well of sleep and dream only of darkness. I have that almost every single night. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a full dream. Anyway. Oh, sounds like our piggy's just had a new baby. Pick up this iron. I think this should be pretty much everything. I don't think there's very much iron left for us to smelt now. But we'll dump these in the chest. Actually, no, we won't. So we will finish upgrading our helmet. Will we do the helmet? Yeah, we'll do that. Iron Mace needs 30 iron in order to upgrade it to level 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, a level 4 would be very nice in terms of damage upgrade, but that's a lot of iron for one upgrade. What we're going to do instead is we are going to upgrade our banded shield, because I want a higher level of banded shield so that we can block more. One thing you do need to be aware of with your armor sets is that when you're upgrading them, I try and do them as high as possible with the iron or with the materials that I have. At least level 3, because at least level 3 by the time I'm finished in the biome that I got it from. The reason why is that when you're upgrading armor and when you're using armor, it's not just for that biome that you're getting it for. You are also going to use that armor for your first forays into the next biome, so when we're going into the mountain. And the mountain does have a bit of a difficulty jump again, just like the swamp did. It's not so much for some of the creatures there. Some of the creatures are fairly simple and straightforward. As you've seen with the wolves, we took them on with bronze stuff and we were okay with them. And they were a couple of biomes ahead of the bronze. So it's not that bad, but it's more that the terrain for the mountain is quite difficult and there's a couple of extra mechanics that you need to deal with, like the cold mechanic that we've seen so far. There are a few ways of dealing with that, which I will showcase once we get there. But yeah, I like to upgrade armor to at least level 3, sometimes level 4 if I've got the materials for it. Oh, our bonfire has gone out. Right, let's see if we've got any wood so that we can restart that. Nothing in the cart, that's fine wood, that's ancient wood, so yeah, let's go out and grab some more. Probably going to focus on taking down these smaller saplings or these smaller trees. See, when you hover over them, it comes up saying beech tree. So you would think that these smaller trees here would grow into a fully grown tree. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've never kept track of one of these smaller saplings long enough to see if they do grow into full trees, but if you were to plant tree seeds, this isn't a stage of the growth for them. When you plant tree seeds, you basically plant them and they come up as that kind of smaller version of the tree, and then after a certain amount of days, they just kind of bamf into a big tree, a fully grown one. You don't really see a growth procedure or process for them. But I think these smaller saplings, even though they are named after the same trees which we're cutting down currently, I think they're more for the early game and less for tree growth. I think they're just a way of getting wood before you have a stone axe to cut trees down, and they're a pretty quick and easy way of getting a small amount of wood if you need some desperately. So like we do now, we just need some wood for filling up bonfires and stuff like that. We don't really want to spend too much time cutting down 10 of the big trees, although I have cut a few down currently. So you can get a small piece of wood, a small amount of wood from cutting them down. I believe it's 1 to 3 planks per tree or per sapling that you take down. You can take them down in one swing. You can also hit multiples of them with one swing as well. I think the most I've done is 4, so you can get quite a bit of wood quite quickly by taking those smaller saplings down. And then obviously as we get higher axe levels and axes dealing more damage, they will take trees down nice and quick for us and chop up logs into planks quite easily, so we don't have to focus on those smaller saplings too much. I think like I said, I think they're more of an early game thing. Anyway, we have quite a bit of wood now, so let's go and refill our bonfire and stuff like that. Let's also pick up this iron. Still a couple more coming from that one. How are these guys doing? They take up the 20, so let's just fill these up as much as we can. There we go, and let's go do the bonfire. 10 bits of wood for you. There we go, nice and full. This will last us quite a long time. Put the iron in there. Oh, we've got a couple of stacks actually, that's pretty decent for wood. Pop the feathers in the chest, we don't need those just yet. Get rid of the resin, and we'll go and dump the wood in the cart. At some point we will turn a couple of these smelters back into charcoal kilns and start working on the next amount of coal that we're going to need. The mountain does have another level up of metal that we're going to use for armor and weapons and stuff, so we are going to need to smelt some more coal for it, sadly. The never-ending use of the coal resource. You said they need a lot of it. Oh, sounds like the pigs just had another baby. That's 2 today, that's pretty good. Look at that carrot amount. Was that 113 carrots we've got? Pretty good. And we've got the turnips as well. There's only like 13 turnips so far, so I want to wait until we've got a bunch more before we start cooking with them. But let's have a look. Black soup, 50 health, 17 stamina. Needs a blood bag, a honey, and a turnip, which is pretty good. Lasts for about 20 minutes. That's not too bad. There are a few other recipes we'll make with turnips as well. And we are also going to grab our iron head arrows. We've got 59 of them, so we can use those when we go out sailing again, if we take on any sea serpents. But yeah, just making sure we've got the highest level of gear on us for our next forays. And I think we are going to end the episode fairly soon. Probably give it about another minute or so. Just wait for this iron to finish smelting. Probably check the beehives as well. But yes, with the series, we are just going to keep carrying on as much as possible. You may have seen my announcement a few days ago with the next series that I'm going to be doing, and I am hoping to continue on with this series as much as possible and try and keep up with the upload schedule on it, although things might slow down for a bit, just so you all have a heads up for that. I am looking forward to getting started on the next series as well. I think it's going to be very good. But yeah, I think we'll call it very shortly. So thank you everybody for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this episode. We are definitely getting close to taking on the swamp boss. And I will catch you all in the next episode.